Welcome to Weekly Video Digest Program Quest. First, a look at the highlights. 10-day research methodology workshop for PhD scholars gets underway. IGP Kashmir delivers a special lecture on civil services. Bollywood filmmaker Imtiaz Ali interacts with students and faculty. Bar Council of India visits Law Department for audit. Academic Staff College holds 3-week refresher course in Applied Sciences. Now the details and other events with your host Jasim Malik. A 10-day workshop on research methodology for PhD students commenced with the inaugural function being held at Gandhi Bhavan Conference Hall. Department of Sociology, in collaboration with Indian Council of Social Science Research, is organizing this 10-day research methodology course. Associate Professor Dr. Anisa Shafi presented the inaugural address.
The idea of organizing a training workshop was developed with this orientation. So the utility, relevance and usefulness of this kind of workshop can never be ignored, not even minimized. The workshop on research methodology course for the PhD students in social sciences has been sponsored by Indian Council for Social Science Research, New Delhi, and it is organized by the Department of Sociology of this university. The scheduled academic program and list of topic themes to be discussed in the workshop and list of the faculty have already been devised by the sponsors. These standard practices will be followed seriously and sincerely during the whole workshop. This workshop has the total selected audience of 40 PhD students pursuing their program of research in different universities of the country. The outstation participants belong to all social science disciplines of sociology, social work, history, economics, political science, Islamic studies, psychology, philosophy, Central Asian studies, law and geography.
Dean Social Sciences Professor Muhammad Ashraf Wani said that the research scholar must be well acquainted with human problems and should have a vision.
The research scholar must be well acquainted with the problems the humanity in general and his society in particular is confronted with. And he must also have a vision how to overcome these problems. The vision must be, in the words of Nietzsche, life-preserving and life-furthering. This ultimately involves the question of selecting a right kind of topic as well as asking right kind of questions. Number two, for producing a meaningful research, it must be based on primary sources and it must be informed and nuanced research.
In his keynote address, educationist Professor A.G. Madhosh said that for doing research, it is important to lay hand on a subject which will fill the research gap.
Have I laid my hands upon the area or the subject or the topic which is really a research gap? And this is tremendously, you see, dangerous part in social sciences, as you see. We have a very sweet history from cultural anthropology through sociology to social psychology. And you have to have, in a way, at least a specialist attention of all these subjects as together. You can go with Professor Carr, what is history? There you can find that you can cook things, as he writes. A historian cooks things for others.
Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, Professor Talat Ahmed, while presenting the presidential address, said that the statistics are important in any research and thesis should be based on statistical methods of research.
I don't really see much logic in the sense that they say that we have sampled 500 teachers or we have sampled 300 houses or households. But what is the logic? Why 500? Why not 600 or why not 400? They don't have the answer because we are not actually getting much familiar with the statistical methods in the research, which has to be there for all the streams, whether it is science, arts or anything.
Assistant Professor Dr. Manzoor Hussain proposed the vote of thanks.
Research methodology in social sciences is not static, but it is the dynamic in nature. It is dynamic in the sense because vast number of changes have taken place in the social science research methodologies. This has posed a big challenge before the budding and the mature the social scientists. The budding social scientists find it increasingly difficult to frame the research proposals for thesis the conferences, the seminars, and the workshops, as well as the research projects.
Inspector General of Police Kashmir, Mr. Abdul Ghani Mir, delivered a special lecture on career prospects in civil services. The lecture was delivered in the Media House Auditorium and was organized by the Center for Career Planning and Counseling. IGP Mr. Mir said that the civil services means taking decisions, and as such persons with strong head are suitable for it.
Because civil services is meant to take and implement decisions which are related to you, which are related to the society. Day-to-day decisions or the long-term decisions. आपके मोहल्ले में बिजली ट्रांसफार्मर होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? आपके यहाँ सड़क जो जाएगी वो सड़क पक्की होनी चाहिए कि नहीं होनी चाहिए? पानी का नल होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? आपको पुलिस स्टेशन के से जेल तक पहुंचना चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? But these all decisions are being taken by the civil services, civil servants. आपका long term किस तरह से देश की प्रगति होनी चाहिए, progress होना चाहिए? What direction the economy must take? The government, political executive or political government is assisted by the civil servants to take all these decisions.
He told students that to realize the dream of getting into civil services, one has to put their best efforts and better planning into it.
It has to be a decision based on the basic things. You are, for example, whether you want to compete the civil services, that must be the first decision. If you are suited for that, for example, if you are good at any other thing, if you are good at teaching, and you get, happiness out of that, I would suggest you go for that, not for the civil services. But if you want to go for the civil services, then you must have that aptitude towards that. That's decision number one. Then another decision would be the subject, choice of subject decision. There can be a lot of decisions. We would cover those decisions also. Second would be planning and management. You have to plan your time. You have to plan each and everything, the studies, the subjects, the GS, then hard work. And third, या fourth, last, उसके बाद luck भी चाहिए. But luck won't work without those three things. Luck would only work after those three.
Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, Professor Talat Ahmed said that the university is planning to have a residential coaching center for the civil service aspirants.
We are trying to provide lots of hostel facility. We have approached the Ministry of Human Resources to have a residential coaching center here, and inshallah ta'ala it will come very soon. That is one of the things that we are very much interested, and we should get it as soon as possible. In the meanwhile, we are also developing other hostels. We have already got a few girls hostels, and now 2 boys hostels are coming up. We will maybe reserve something for the people who clear prelims, for the period when they require the accommodation. We have very good facility of 24/7, and that is open to anybody. It doesn't have to be only our students, and everybody is welcome to take full advantage of these facilities.
Dean Academic Affairs Professor A.M. Shah in his address said that the negative attitude towards civil services has to be shunted out.
I have read some articles, some people start, there is corruption, there is this thing, you have to be with the politicians, you have to stand before politicians, you will do this thing. So it is not so like you have to be just an advisor in policy, you are not a policy maker, and some people look from this angle. But my dear friends, if you start thinking that you want to become change agents, you want to become not only policy advisors, but you are going to become the policy makers and how you can change the society. That is where the opportunity comes for civil service. Other day, I was in a function and one of the learned Islamic scholars started that the people who are exclusively thinking about themselves, how I will grow, how I will achieve success, and not thinking about the whole coin of the society is not doing the justice. So my dear friends, here is where opportunity for civil service emerges.
Registrar Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi said that the credit to create awareness among Kashmiri students towards civil services goes to the present IGP.
I believe that half the job is done with the enthusiasm that the students, isn't it, that the participants have shown. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, why we have not done exceptionally good in civil services is that we lacked that enthusiasm, we lacked that urge, isn't it? A lot of credit goes to Mr. Mayor for creating an awareness amongst the youth in Kashmir for the civil services. And then the results are before us. We have a topper amongst us, and then the 11 of our students, our boys have qualified this year civil services. And then incidentally, we'll be organizing also a function to felicitate those people, isn't it? Now, point is not this, that the talent is not there. We are enormously talented people. Only thing is that the culture of appearing in the civil services was not there. And in that context, Mr. Mir and his friends have done an exemplary job.
Earlier, Director CCPC Professor Shabir Ahmed Butt in his welcome address said that the centre is providing services and resources to the students that are essential for their career and educational planning.
Kashmir University, in its own humble way, established a Center for Career Planning and Counseling, which envisions itself as one of the leading training centers of the country, engaged and committed to motivate and preparing candidates not only for the civil services, but also for various other competitive examinations. Ladies and gentlemen, since competitive excellence is going to be at the forefront of this 21st century, higher education institutions, as we all know, will require to offer systems for ongoing education so that an increasing number of students sitting for competitive examiners can carve an inch.
The proceedings of the function were conducted by the coordinator CCPC, Mr. Muhammad Ayub Shah. Academic Staff College organized a 3-week refresher course in Basic and Applied Sciences. The inaugural function was held in the Academic Staff College Hall. Speaking on the occasion, Vice-Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed advised teachers that it is important for them to get more and more knowledge from allied subjects.
The education now is going to be more multidisciplinary compared to what you have studied or even I have studied. And with time, it is all going to be linked, particularly the sciences. It will be very difficult when you reach the peak to say that this is physics or this is biology or this is earth sciences and chemistry. So it's all interlinked.
Professor Talat said that the policy of university is to help teachers grow in their subjects, and for that purpose, university has relaxed some rules for college teachers.
We have relaxed lots of requirements, especially for the teachers, if they want to improve upon their career, if they want to do PhD, if they haven't, okay, there is now provision with much reduced requirement in terms of the period of experience and period of teaching. And it is always good and satisfaction you will have if you have more and more knowledge and more credibility to your CV.
Director Academic Staff College Professor Farooq Fayaz thanked Vice Chancellor for his encouragement. Around 40 college and university teachers are taking part in the 3-week refresher course on Basic and Applied Sciences. Bollywood filmmaker Mr. Imtiaz Ali had an interactive session with the students and faculties of Media Education Research Centre and Educational Multimedia Research Centre. The interactive session was held in the Media House auditorium. Replying to the queries from students and faculty, Mr. Ali told participants that filmmakers invest money only in those films which they think will generate money.
Everybody in the film industry, let me tell you, is very, oriented towards trying to make a successful film. And anything that they have to do, they will. So if I'm somebody's godfather, so-called, or if there is a godfather who I have, he is not going to take me in a movie if he does not think that I'm the best for him at that time.
He advised participants that in order to being reflected the way you are, one has to create his own cinema.
My purpose is not to tell a story that I don't know. I can discover that, and maybe it will reflect in the future in my stories. But if you have the story of Kashmir, you've got to make it, man. You cannot wait for anybody else to. And I do understand your point of, see, when I came to Kashmir before Rockstar, I saw it, I felt a certain thing, and I made it. I thought that I'd never seen Kashmir culturally. I was very impacted by Kashmir culturally, how they eat, how they cook, how they talk, what they wear, at which occasions. I think it's the most sophisticated society in the nation. So I feel that, and this is what I feel, that if you have a story, make it. You've got to create your own cinema.
Senior Assistant Professor of MERC, Mr. Nasir Mirza, conducted the proceedings of the event. A team of Bar Council of India visited Faculty of Law for academic audit of the department. During their visit, the Bar Council took a detailed inspection of the department. Later, the Bar Council members had an interactive session with the faculty where Dean Professor Farooq Ahmed Mir presented a presentation in which he briefed them about the various initiatives that the department is taking. In other activities of the week, Department of Students' Welfare in collaboration with Department of Hematology and Transfusion, Government Medical College, Srinagar organized one-day blood donation camp. The blood donation camp was held in the Health Center of the Kashmir University. Students of various departments donated their blood. Cultural Officer Mr. Shahid Ali Khan coordinated the event. Kashmir University Model High School celebrated its annual day. On this occasion, students of various classes presented several events. Vice Chancellor along with the Registrar were present on the occasion. Here's a brief look at the events that students of Model High School presented on their annual day. Directorate of Physical Education and Sports organized an inter-department road race for men. The road race commenced at 5:30 am from Kral Sangri and culminated at Rumi Gate of the university. That's all for today's episode. Log on to our website emmrckashmir.com where you can watch all the episodes of Quest. Mail us your suggestions at quest@emmrckashmir.com. Before I take your leave, here are a few words of wisdom. A government that is thoroughly lawless, incorrigible and violent deserves to lose the right to rule. Dear viewers, please take good care of yourselves. See you soon.